Hello everyone and welcome to my video on Melyn Talks streamings. I'm going to be giving some personal history as well as tips. So this is going to be a slightly different kind of video than my usual Melyn Talks video for a few reasons, alright? So let's talk first about the purpose of this video, okay? It's twofold. One, I want to give kind of a personal history for my fans who are curious about where I come from, who perhaps don't actually know very much about my past. And two, to be helpful for aspiring streamers. You know, a lot of people think, hey, I would love to stream. You know, how do I do it? Or people have been streaming for a long time maybe, and they're wondering, okay, why is my stream not getting the kind of growth or results that I'm going for? Okay, so hopefully it's going to be able to be helpful. Hopefully it's going to be informative. Let's do a few things first though, as a sort of introduction before I get too far into this video. So let's start with who I am. In case you don't know me, my name is Jason Barnett, otherwise known as Melyn. I am a League of Legends streamer, most notably a Zyra one trick in Masters right now. And I have a, I think, healthy mid-sized stream right now, averaging around maybe 60-ish viewers in a normal stream. Okay, so it's healthy, but you know, I'm not a partner. I don't have a huge stream, but it's I would classify it for me personally as a successful stream. Okay, so what this video is going to be is we're going to start with a little bit of my personal history. If you're curious, if you're not, you can check the timestamps below the video and skip to the section where I talk more about tips and kind of what to go for in a streaming environment. And then we're going to talk about those in detail, and then we'll be basically done with a conclusion. And again, I don't have all the answers, and I'm not saying I'm always right. And honestly, I don't even do everything I'm going to recommend to you guys. But hopefully, I will still provide some useful tips. Okay? So, a brief history of my stream. I started streaming in May of 2013. Okay, so that's like 3.5 years ago or something like that. So I've been streaming a long time, and honestly, with very, very little results for most of it. I streamed about 6 months of Star Wars: The Old Republic. That is the game I started off streaming. I was a competitive raid leader, guild leader, as well as I led a PvP group, ranked PvP, which was very quite competitive. We were number one on one of our servers, and then not number one on after we moved servers, but we fought them. All right, we put up with the best. It was very successful, and I was probably one of the biggest, not the biggest, but maybe second or third biggest Star Wars: Old Republic streamers of that time. Well known, I would say, and I would average around 60 to 80, sometimes up to 100 viewers playing Star Wars: Old Republic, because you know, it was some of the highest level play on the server at that time. Okay, so you know, I had a very, very healthy stream back then. It was great. People knew who I was. But there were, most of the people that were watching me were just kind of passing through, clicking, oh, this is a new game, let's watch this guy, and then you know, they'd be done watching, they'd have their curiosity satisfied, and they'd leave. Okay, I didn't have much of a following, much of a community or anything. Okay, and then I ended up quitting Star Wars: The Old Republic, and so I decided to switch to League of Legends to get some more you know, bigger population, more competition, stuff like that. And I've always really enjoyed PvP. Needless to say, everyone that was watching for Star Wars: The Old Republic did not want to watch the stream now, right? I go from being one of the best healers in an online MMORPG, and then I switch to being a complete idiot playing a MOBA. Okay, so of course I retained almost none of my viewers. You know, I still had some friends from Star Wars: Old Republic that would stop by and say hi, but I mean, nobody would really watch me. Okay, I was streaming to practically an empty audience, because again, why would anyone even want to watch me back then? All right, so but I streamed anyway. Streamed all the time, leveling up. Some people, some of my current mods actually discovered me at that time, and they still stick around and been supporting me for a really long time. If you ever curious, ask me some of the people who I met back then. I don't know why they started watching me, but they did. All right. So finally, Finally, I decided, all right, I want to be the best, and I got to Diamond 1. I'll also compare this information with the graphs on the screen. I got to Diamond 1 in early 2015 and Masters around November of 2015. All the while, I was, in the top 0.1% or something like that, and averaging maybe 10 viewers in a stream, okay? So again, very talented. I think I had a pretty high quality stream as well, but nobody was watching. All right, we'll get into more of why that was later. But then in December of 2015, I decided, okay, I really want to grow my stream. I'm going to put in the effort to grow my stream. So I decided to do some 24-hour charity streams, decided to create more YouTube content, decided to make more online posts, and decided to network a bit more as well. And I've been putting in constant effort since then, and you can see the results in my stream. In both of the growth and quality of the stream, I think. All right, so that's kind of where I'm at right now. I'm still growing, still enjoying things, having a good time, and that's kind of the story of how I got here. So let's talk now about what it requires to have a successful stream, and maybe even what that means to have a successful stream. First off, streaming has to be an intrinsic desire for yourself. You don't want streaming to be like, okay, I want to stream for a living, or I want to stream to be famous, or you have to stream because you enjoy it, okay? And later on, if you've got 5,000 subscribers or something, then you can decide, all right, I don't enjoy streaming anymore, but I'm going to do it for XYZ reasons. But honestly, if you're starting a stream, you just have to do it because you enjoy it, all right? And then I would also like to address the number one question I get whenever people are talking about streams. And the question is this: why isn't anyone watching my stream? And I think that question is not a good question, even though it's a very natural question. I think the question needs to be turned on its head to actually be able to answer it and figure things out. The question you should be asking, and this is a bit harsh, but it's necessary, every streamer needs to answer this question, is why should somebody watch your stream? There are so many people on Twitch. Twitch isn't even the only streaming platform, although it is the biggest, but there are so many people on Twitch. There are so many streams. Even especially if you play like a bigger game like League of Legends, it's a ridiculous number of streams. It's possible people can't even find your stream, okay? Why would they watch you out of all of these other people? And you need to address that question. And usually the answer lies in content, and exposure. Content being a mixture of uniqueness and quality of your stream, and exposure being people have to even know you exist. So we're going to break that down and go into it, all right? Because you need to answer that question for yourself, and then maybe you can find that answer in some of these topics I'm going to be talking about next, all right? So let's start with uniqueness, okay? Which is very closely related to why should someone watch your stream. You have to be different. You have to provide something that no one else does. Because if you provide the same exact thing as a more successful, bigger streamer with more streaming hours and more interaction and more viewers and stuff, they're just going to go watch that person that they know is already reliable and provides the content that they want, okay? So some of the most common reasons why someone would watch maybe you over someone else is, let's go one by one. One of them could be the game you're playing. Again, if you're playing League of Legends, that's not unique, but if you're playing at the time of this video, maybe like Pokemon Sun or Moon or something, or some kind of new game, some kind of obscure game, some kind of weird game that people are curious about, that's a great way to make yourself unique. The game that you're playing, all right? Another thing can be play style, okay? So again, this could be maybe you do speed runs, maybe you do playthroughs, blindfolded playthroughs or something like that, or something I know more about. Maybe your League of Legends playstyle is ridiculous. Maybe you're like Singed 420 and you just proxy farm and feed but win anyways. Maybe you're like Trick2G who just BMs the opponent and yells and just it's just hilarious, just ridiculous gameplay. But if you play like a normal human being, again, you're not really unique, even if that's how you normally want to play. But a play style can be a big part of what makes your channel unique. Also talents and skill. For example, if you're playing League of Legends, are you high ranked? If you're a speedrunner, do you have a competitive time? What else could it be? Like if it's music, are you really talented? If you're streaming under the creative label and Twitch, stuff like that. Are you actually good at what you do? Because again, you don't have to be good at what you do. There are very popular streamers who are very casual in the experience that they have, but by far they're the exception, not the rule. And they have very, very big strengths in other things, such as entertainment factors. But a lot of times, just being good at what you do is one of the best ways to get yourself to stand out among the competition. All right. And the next one is you can be unique in that you have good looks, and there's nothing to be ashamed of it. I mean, there are a lot of, I want to be delicate around this subject, but there's a lot of female streamers that get a lot of extra views because they are female, okay? And a lot of guys like to watch something different. They don't want to watch a guy every day. Maybe they want to watch a girl. Maybe they maybe they just want to watch because they like watching females, and they don't want to watch females in any other capacity at that moment. Or if you're a guy, are you showing up looking like you just got out of an alleyway or something and been sleeping there for a week? Are you gonna clean up? Are you gonna wear shirt and tie? Are you gonna have or just some of the funny things I've done, right? I used to stream with a blue wig every day. I used to stream with a shirt and tie, stuff like that. Just trying to get some kind of different thing with your look. And maybe it's not even on the other, maybe it's on the other side, right? Maybe you're not like a supermodel. Maybe you're just so ridiculously ugly. Just own that. Own that. Like, say you've got like the most ridiculous, largest nose. Put that in your title. Something that makes yourself stand out. Good, bad, but if it's something that others perceive as bad, own it. Don't be ashamed of it. So that's another way to put yourself out there. Just anything that makes you unique, own it and advertise it. Use that to answer the question of why someone should watch your stream. Uniqueness is very important. So that's one of the main parts of content. The other part of content is stream quality, and this can be a lot of different things. So there's the obvious thing like your specs, right? Are you dropping frames? Do you have a webcam? How's your overlay? What's your frame rates? Your screen resolution? Stuff like that. Your bit rate stuff. Things like that. Although I should put in a caveat that you don't want this to be too high. Again, if you're partnered and you have quality options, yeah, stream as high quality as you want. People can always turn it down. But if you're just getting started, you need to stream at a quality where people with great internet connections can still watch you without thinking, oh my gosh, why am I watching a slideshow? And people with terrible internet connections, maybe not terrible, but people with below average internet connections can still watch without it buffering like every 5 seconds or something. So find that balance. Usually, for me, I found it was between like 1,000 and 2,000 for the bit rate. But go ahead and experiment with that. And if you have viewers that say, hey, this resolution is trash and you can up it, maybe up it a bit. If you have a lot of viewers that come to your stream and say, hey, it's dropping a lot of frames, I have to go, my internet's not good enough, consider lowering it. Just be very, very sensitive to those things. But yeah, other things like a microphone, the quality, basically all the standard stream quality things is something that's important if you want to grow your stream. Again, you don't always need all of these things, but they do help. Another part of the quality of your stream is your online persona. We're not just playing. When we stream, we're not giving a perfectly accurate representation of who we are. All streamers create some kind of online persona, and it can be very close to who they are. But you usually create some kind of character, and this character is going to have a certain amount of viewer interaction, especially with smaller streams. The more interaction, the better. The character should have commentary, the character should have personality, should have some kind of humor, and be very conscious of what kind of personality you're going to create. Be very conscious and even watch you don't have to watch your entire VOD, but watch bits and pieces of your VOD and see, okay, how am I coming off? Is this what I'm going for? Is this what I want? Because your online persona, who you are, is a lot of what will turn people on or off about your stream. I'm speaking from personal experience about this. There's quite a few streamers that are like, oh, this is a cool stream. Oh, I'm really interested about this. And then I watch the person and I'm like, oh no, I don't think I'm going to come back to this just because I can't stand this guy, or I'm going to come back. I love this guy. This guy is just a cool guy and like a very approachable. So online persona and likability is a big thing. All right. Another thing is a stream schedule, and this is both for you and your viewers. And it's something that personally I'm not very good with right now because my personal life is in a bit of a weird thing with my job situation. But a stream schedule is good for you and your viewers. Why is it good for you? It's good for you because it gives you an idea. Okay, I'm going to stream at these times. If you're not feeling like streaming, you're gonna kick yourself. And you're going to stream anyway, okay? It's going to force you to stream. Although, with that in mind, you need to create a realistic stream schedule because you don't want to be miserable all the time. It's going to be and you don't want to burn out as well. But it's a good way to get yourself to stream the amount that you want yourself to stream, okay? It's a good way to keep yourself honest. And it's good for your viewers because if they like your content, they have to know when to find you. Like, sure, you can post to your Twitter, maybe if you have a Discord, and if people follow you, they could get notifications that way. But it's a whole lot easier if I'm thinking, I work 5 days a week. I come home at 7 o'clock. My favorite thing to come home when it's 7 o'clock is to turn on my computer and watch JJ42 play some Crash Bandicoot or something. It also builds habits, so they know when to find you, and viewers can incorporate it into their schedules, which is very, very nice for them, and it's very nice for you as well. Okay, so stream schedules are a great way to grow your stream. All right, I kind of talked a bit about this next part for stream quality earlier, but it's skill, right? You don't have to, but it's very helpful to be good at what you do. If you're playing League of Legends, being high ranked. If you're playing or a different PvP game, being high ranked. If you're speedrunning, have a competitive time, stuff like that. Again, you don't have to be good to be a streamer, but it really, really does help. And it answers the question of why people should watch you. And the last thing I want to talk about for stream quality, and again, this is kind of optional, is kind of like gimmicks or variety. Have some variety to your stream, and then there's other some gimmicks that you can add to maybe artificially get more people to your stream. So whether you have different themes to your streams, every Friday I'm going to wear my weird wig. Every Saturday, I'm going to do blindfold runs. Every Monday, it's only going to be mariachi music. I don't know, but have some kind of diversity to your stream so when people watch every day, maybe they can watch and get something different, which can be a good or a bad thing if it's too different. Some people will be turned off by that, but it's something you have to be aware of and decide. But maybe it could prevent people from getting bored with your stream as well. Other things are maybe a little less sustainable depending on your income, but like giveaways, viewer reward programs, stuff like that. And I feel like these are more if you have a slightly bigger stream, if not really for getting started, but maybe later on down the road they can be good things to add if you enjoy them. So that's pretty much it for content. But remember, to have a stream, you don't just need good content. You could be the best streamer in the world and still have 0 viewers if nobody knew about you. So the key to being a good streamer is having both content and exposure, okay? So that's what we're gonna get into next, exposure. Because again, you could be doing everything right. Say, I am the #1 speedrunner for, I don't know, what's a big game? Super Mario 64, okay? And somehow, nobody knows who I am. I don't think that would be possible for Super Mario 64, but, bear with me, okay? Or I'm the #1 League of Legends player or something, and I'm 80 years old. Why is nobody watching me, okay? If nobody knows about you, you need to get exposure. And that's a really, really big thing that personally I feel like I had to deal with to grow my channel. It's getting yourself out there. All right. And the number way to get yourself out there, and this is for all aspects of life, and so better get good at it now, right? Is networking. Okay. Finding people, finding other streamers, other people similar to you, and become friends with them. And it's not like a forced, like, oh, I'll follow you if you follow me kind of thing. Just get to know them, become friends with them, watch their streams, cheer them on, interact with them and their viewers. And once you kind of grow, and once you kind of get these friendships with other people who are similar to you, also hosts. Hosts are a great way, even to break the ice and stuff. Hosts are a great way to network if in the streaming community, I think, and not just passive hosts, but here I'm going to go on a little bit of a tangent, but also active hosts. Where you're actually interacting after you host. You actually tell your viewers, okay, here we're going to go over to this guy's stream. Here's who he is. Like, give a little introduction before your host. And say, or maybe even like a raid, and be like, okay, when we show up to this channel, we're all gonna spam Frankerzy or something like that. All right. So hosts are a great way to network as well. But yeah, the cool thing about networking is that it's mutually beneficial for you and the person you're trying to network with. And to that extent, the best way to network is to not, again, just be like, oh, follow for follow. It's actually you need to put something in order to get something out, and don't think of it as something to, like, you're just doing to get something out. So yeah, find people that you honestly enjoy their content and get to know them. And that's one of the best ways to get some exposure. Other great ways to get some exposure, another way is content creation. So I try to have a very active YouTube channel. It's honestly not as active as I would like, but that's because creating content is hard. Streaming a lot of times is playing video games, and that's usually pretty easy for us. But content creation, it takes some work. You have to kind of just say, okay, this is what I want. I'm going to do it. And that is, again, all of these exposure things are how I personally have grown the most in my stream. So that can be a great way. And again, it can be a variety of things. It can be some kind of guide. Again, if you're qualified to create a guide, it can be comedy. If you have kind of a weird play style, you could say, hey, look at all these funny things I'm doing. And although that kind of requires being a better video editor, maybe, which you may or may not be able to do. Other kinds of content creation, well, you guys probably know the kinds of content creation. I don't want to think of a list off the top of my head. Okay. And the last thing for exposure is having a presence on social media and forums. Okay. So for example, I've gotten an incredible number of followers and exposure from the League of Legends subreddit, Summoner School subreddit, the Zyramain subreddit, stuff like that. So find the communities, and this is kind of hand in hand with networking. Find the communities that you are a part of, and become a part of the community. You can never be an isolated person if you plan on growing your stream from the ground up. So again, I'm not going to list specific communities to join because you know better than I do who you are. And then also, have a good, healthy, maybe like Twitter or Instagram, stuff like that. And I say healthy because your persona on Twitter is just as important as your persona on stream. So be very careful with how you portray yourself and stuff like that, and make sure it's an image that you want to have. Okay, so that's basically it. Gave a brief history on where I was. My main tips are balancing content and exposure, where content is mostly uniqueness and quality of your stream, and you should always be thinking of the question, why should anyone watch me? And that's basically it for my tips on how to stream. Again, I'm in the journey myself, but I enjoy it all the time. You shouldn't be streaming if you don't enjoy it. That's so important. I watch a lot of streams, and sometimes I still enjoy streams where it's clear the streamer's enjoying it, but it makes it 10 times more exciting to watch a stream if you know the person streaming enjoys streaming and is having a good time. So definitely something to be aware of, something to focus on, and something to think about. do it because you enjoy it. It's not to say you won't have to force yourself to do something sometimes, but it should be a passion. It should be fun. All right. Hope this helps. If you have any questions or maybe comments on some of my tips or want to know more about what I think about some, feel free to give me some questions. You can pop them to me on Twitter. You can pop them to me on my stream. All this information's below the video if you want to check it out. Or you can just send me a comment in the video description. Not the video description. Send me a comment under the video and I'll get to that as well. All right. So I hope you guys enjoyed the video. It kind of got a little lengthy, but hopefully it helps. Thanks for watching. Have a good night.